Hi girls, we're just going to talk about the rest of the poem so you can finish making your notes. All right, the first um, two stanzas are about the other animals in the zoo. And the reason they're there is that they contrast strongly with the jaguar, who's so different. And this contrast between the first two stanzas and the last three stanzas is marked by this word but. So but is a word of contrast, and it's a very short, sharp, contrasting word. And I'll write that down there. Um, and that contrasts with what's gone before. And now we're moving on to finding the jaguar. Now, notice the words that I've highlighted here. They all refer to the people who are watching the jaguar. But who runs like the rest? These are people. Past these is the animals. Arrives at a cage where the crowd stands, stares, mesmerized. Now, stands, stares. Those two words are single syllable words. They're short and sharp. And this kind of brings us to a stop. And also shows the very strong reaction from the crowd who are mesmerized. Now, mesmerized is the same feeling as awe. Do you remember with the tiger we used the word awe? It's the same, exactly that same feeling, mesmerized. And you'll see S is repeated. We call that alliteration. So it gets our attention. And there's also assonance where we repeat the vowel sound, the the crowd stands, stares. Okay, so there's all these features, language features get our attention and bring us closer to this jaguar. As a child in a dream, that's a simile where we're saying it's like a child in a dream. As a jaguar hurrying in rage. Now, enraged is a really strong feeling of anger, absolute anger. Just like the tiger had this incredible fierceness, this jaguar has this anger. And he's hurrying. That's a fast word. It's not like stands and stares, but it's a very fast word. And it shows his movement, ing, at the end of hurrying, emphasizes that it is an active, it was a busy word. Through prison darkness. Now, the darkness is like a prison darkness. So that is a metaphor. We haven't used like or as, but it's a metaphor. His place is like a prison. Now, this is an important one to look at as well, which is also a metaphor. But if you imagine a drill is a piece of equipment that we use to make holes in wood, or we use it to make holes in the earth, and it makes a long, thin hole that goes deep. And his eyes there look out like long drills. In other words, it's a very strong, violent, heavy word showing his anger. And it's a metaphor. So it's a very powerful metaphor that they've used here. Now, they continue the metaphor of these eyes on a short, fierce fuse. Once again, please notice those short syllable words. Drill, short, fierce, fuse. Very short syllable words, one syllable. To show the power, almost like the sound of a gun. Fierce fuse, once again repeating the f is alliteration. So we see it again here. So this idea of his anger, of his strength, the power, and these short syllable words, and the use of alliteration and use of metaphor, all builds a picture for us, or an image of this animal that's really powerful and angry. Now we use something called a synecdoche, which is it is a term we use when you use a smaller thing to refer to a bigger thing. So when it said the eye means the tiger's eye, but we don't say the tiger's eye, we could just say the eye, so we know it's a tiger. The eye satisfied, happy to be blind in fire. So blind, not able to see because of the fire. He has so much anger that he's filled with fire, but he doesn't care if he's blind. He can't see from this inner fire. Now, it's interesting that this fire is very much like the fire that we saw in the tiger. So there's this idea of fire there too. This fire is fire of anger. And then we've got the repeating the B sound. So there's more alliteration. Blind by the bang of blood in the brain. So he's so angry that he can't hear anything because of this blood that he hears in his brain going bang, bang, bang. And it reminds us of the tiger that we heard its heartbeat in that poem. Here, the pang of blood. Bah, bah, bah. That repeated B is alliteration, and it's very strong, and also, once again, single syllable words that get our attention. Deaf the ear. Once again, we're not talking about the ear, we're talking about the tiger is deaf because of this noise in his head, and we call this synodoke. A synodoke. Oh my goodness, I haven't spelt this very well. Sorry, girls. Synodoke. Dochi. Synodoke. I'm not sure if it's synodoke or dochi. We'll have to check that out. Okay, and so he spins from the bars. Okay, spins is a very sharp turn, short, sharp movement, but there's no cage to him. So we know that this animal is caged, but he does not feel caged. He feels free. Now we use a very important word here, more than to the visionary his cell. Now, hard to understand what this means really, but the word visionary means to be able to see outside the future, to see the big picture. So for him, he doesn't just see the cell, his prison, he sees outside the bars. And so he's unlike the other animals. He's different from the other animals. He's greater. He lives outside this prison cell. And then the poet uses three metaphors to continue this idea of him living outside, but it gets bigger. This tiger actually turns the world. He is what is making the earth turn. So look at these metaphors. His stride, a stride is a long step, is wildernesses of freedom, wildernesses of wild open spaces of freedom. So there's a metaphor there. His stride being the wilderness of freedom. So there's an idea, two dissimilar things that are not the same is walk and freedom, wildernesses of freedom, but they seem to be similar. The world rolls under the long thrust of his heels. So as he pushes with his heel, the world is rolling underneath him. And this is a metaphor, of course, because a tiger can't turn the world. And then this idea is continued in the last line. Over the cage floor, the horizons come. So the horizon is the place, the line between the earth and the sky. And it's as though the horizons roll towards him, that line, as though he's maybe on a treadmill. On the earth is a treadmill. He walks like in a gym, on the treadmill of earth. But his is the whole world that turns. So it's such a powerful and amazing poem. The next thing that we'll be doing is we'll be looking at the similarity. What's the same between the tiger and the jaguar? Have a good day.